where are you in Auckland?
Yeah, we're in Auckland, and I just got off the phone with Martin Sagadin, who is directing the next music video.
Ooh.
So it was all going, all dealing with that side of things, which was cool.
Excellent. And what's the song going to be?
The song is going to be a song called Mama.
Uh-huh.
And so I think that's going to be the next single that we roll with. So we're down, the concept is we're down in Christchurch, coming up we've got our tour in August.
Yep.
And so he's shooting a bunch of stuff around the Christchurch show.
Cool.
Yeah.
Excellent. So, and you just released It's All Right as a single, so that's got to be exciting for you.
Yeah, so good to get some stuff out. It's one of those things that the whole thing takes such a long time, and for us, COVID has been, as with everyone, COVID's been a massive spanner with recording and things. So we recorded the live tracks for that record. Well, for this sort of the bulk of this record, maybe 2 years ago.
Crikey.
And then we've been intern doing the sort of final overdubbing sessions with Tom, our producer, and we've had so many bad luck scenarios where we've had a session booked in to do like last little bits of vocals, and then we had a lockdown, and then we'll go to rebook it with Tom and won't be able to rebook it for 3 months because he's got other projects and stuff he does.
Right.
And that happened to us about 3 times, I think. So there's almost like a year of things supposed to happen that didn't happen.
That'd be frustrating and kind of weird to come back to these tracks after 2 years to deal with them, is it?
Do you know what though? That has been such a benefit with this record, having so much time to sit on it.
Right.
It's just really like strengthened our resolve in terms of the songs.
Right.
Because it could have gone either way. You either would have sat on the songs and gone, crap, we need to go and re-record and write some new stuff because this stuff's not good enough.
Yep.
But all of this material, we're so happy with it that the more we've listened to it and the more time we've had in between has just made us go, cool, yeah. Like we got it right with the first round, and so we're just on to the sort of next round of recording the songs from there.
Cool. And you recorded up here at the lab just down the street, right? Yeah.
So where are you? And
I'm on top of Simon Street, above the French Cafe.
Oh, cool. Oh man, nice, fancy.
Oh yeah. Expensive is what it is.
Yeah.
but there you go. Yeah. So and have you been back to the lab is that where you're doing the overdubs and all that stuff as well?
So in September. So when I'm looking to the right, I've just got a calendar on the wall with what's going on.
Okay.
Mid-September, we are pre-production, and then end of September, we're recording the rest of what is the record. And so when we're doing this next batch, we're going for like an exciting idea to get it whipped through and get it done, where we're forming sort of this mega band to record the last handful of songs. And so we've got Carla Camilleri, who is from Recitals, and Jade Bryam, who's from Daffodils, Mark, who's Merc, Finn Scholes from Carnivorous Plant Society, Alex Freer, who normally records with us, but he's Tiny Ruins and Lady Hawk, Jess Hicks, who did percussion for Merc as well, and the regular cohorts. So it's going to be a really fun project trying to negotiate live tracking 10 of us, I think, at the same time. But it's cool. We always like to challenge ourselves, I think, in a recording context. And when something feels fresh is when kind of the most exciting stuff comes out. Cool.
So, I mean, the single "It's All Right" we've kind of heard. Is that an indication of what the album is going to be like, or is it not?
Yeah, to a degree, I would say. For us, we're always like, we have a range across the board, but the general feel of the record is that it's like good, energetic, fast and sort of buzzy in places, and then sort of big sing-along moments in other places. So I would say the songs fit relatively classically into our live set, at least at this stage, where it's kind of really working to our strengths in terms of what people love seeing us do.
Gotcha.
Which is cool, yeah.
Yeah. Well, so the album is going to be out next year, obviously, but in the interim, we have a tour. So
we do, yes.
So what's happening on the tour? What have we got planned?
So tour starts in Wellington on the 20th, and then Auckland on the 21st, and then it follows up with, I think it's 27th in Christchurch and the 28th in Dunedin, and it is the biggest set I think we've done, because we're now getting to that point where we've got so much stuff it's really hard to ditch songs. So we've got a whole bunch of the new material that we're busting out on tour for the first time, and it's the first time we've been out in 2 years. I think 2019 was our last tour, right? So super exciting for us to get out and cut loose.
So have you been rehearsing to get in shape?
We have been, rehearsals have all been going really well, which is good. So we knocked off the last of the rehearsals last night. And didn't shunk that up too much. So all is looking very promising.
Oh, very good. So, and so you got, you'll have 4 albums worth of material. So how do the band members decide who's going to do what and what's going to make it and what isn't?
You meaning in the set? Yeah. Someone's just got to be a Grinch about it effectively. Like it's usually me, I'll pin out a set list, but this time around, what we did is we kind of dove a little bit deeper and tried to drag up a couple of songs that we haven't played in a long time.
Right.
But for us, it's just every time we go out, we want to make sure that people aren't watching the same set over and over again. So we're at the point now where we can chop in and out a bunch of good songs within the set. So it means if you see us once, the next time you see us, there'll be other songs that you haven't seen, as well as the staples that usually stick around in the set.
Right. So I'm curious, during the lockdown and COVID and all that, did the band still kind of hang out together or get together, or were you guys kind of isolated?
No, we were pretty isolated. I think initially we did that thing of within the big lockdown where we would catch up for like a cocktail every once in a while. But Tristan, the bass player, he worked at a online liquor store.
Right. Yeah.
Over that period of time, and in turn, their business just boomed.
I can imagine.
So he was pretty much just working through the entire time. Whereas Steve and I, we were, pretty chill. Yeah, we didn't catch up much, really, but we kept tabs on each other, I think, as you do.
Yep. And was there much writing or creativity going on at all?
It started. So for us, it was kind of like by the point when lockdown rolled around, we had done most of the writing for the record, and we had decided upon the record, and then. So for me personally, I did a little bit of writing with some friends. So I did some writing with Merck and Shannon Fowler and Alex Freer, which we just did for a bit of fun, where we were kind of like bouncing around ideas between each other. And I did a little bit of writing on my own, but it was one of those things where for us as a band, we do really operate as a band where we need to be able to get together and talk ideas through. A song is never like, hey, this is my song, you play it exactly how I've written it. We're really collaborative. So for us, lockdown wasn't conducive, I suppose, to the way that we write.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So you mentioned you're talking about making a video for a new song. What was it called? Mama, I think?
Mama, yeah.
So what's the story behind the song, though?
So the story behind that song, funnily enough, is about it's like a homecoming song, basically. And funnily enough, it's like that was all written prior to lockdown and COVID and stuff like that. But it almost rings a little bit more true,
Right.
even after the fact, being that so many people around the world so many Kiwis have ended up having to come home or chosen to come home in this whole palaver. But it's basically just like the song is about kind of like realizing you've burnt the end of the candle and like you need to kick it in the can and move back. Yeah.
Right. Gotcha.
Which is a feeling that I think a lot of us can sometimes feel when we're like, you go for an adventure and there's a point when that adventure runs out and it becomes a bit more labored,
Yeah. And when you're making a video, like you were just chatting on the phone about, what's the process like? How much input does the band have and the director and blah blah blah?
Well, yeah, that's a good question, that one. So we sort of came up with the vague concept behind this video, but we always really like to just let the director take the ball and run with it, because that's their creative realm.
Yep.
And you want them to do what they're good at, and you want them to produce it how they want to produce it, with a little bit of coaxing from our side of things as it's getting shot and as it's going through. But that generally gets us the best result when we're doing music videos. And so Martin was really great to talk to. He was had good ideas and was just talking about ratio of how we're doing the shots and things like that. So
gotcha. Yep.
That'll be cool. Yeah, it's one of those things won't know till the edit.
And when do you think it will make the light of day?
Well, first up, we've actually got the video for It's All Right, which hopefully will be coming next week. We're going to plan. I think that should be finished off this weekend ahead of the tour. And then just looking at the calendar, so Martin will be shooting it on the 27th of August. So I'd say probably that video hopefully would be September sometime.
Cool. All righty.
Yeah.
And the video for, is it a video for It's All Right coming out next week? Is that what you're saying?
Yes. So It's All Right, the video for that song's coming out, which is looking really, really cool. We did that with some friends of ours, Sasha Stechko, who is a fantastic photographer and a close friend of ours. And then the editor and director was Carly Fisher, who's done a lot of editing for us on majority of our previous videos. But it was our first time working with Sasha, and she was fantastic. She's such a great energy.
Sounds like it's all happening. Very good. They're going to be at the Whammy Bar 21st. It's not that far away, is it? It's like
not that far away. No. Yeah.
Crikey.
So we've done all the hard bits. The funny thing is the this was a March tour that got postponed.
Yeah.
And so at the point when the March tour got postponed was right after we'd done all of the rehearsals for it, and we were like, yeah, we're good. We're sounding great. And then we missed out on all the fun part of doing the actual shows. And so where I'm currently as we're sitting, we're in that same zone. So touch wood, hopefully.
Fingers crossed.
Nothing does it. You'd rather the lockdown happen before you've done all the hard work. So I'm sure we'll be good. We're really excited for it.
I hope so. Very good. Well, thanks for telling me all about it. We'll have to see you down at the Whammy.
Pleasure.
Very good.
Yeah,
and
sounds good.
To the album when it comes out.
Awesome. We'll fire it through. Thanks, Marty.
Righto. Bye-bye.
All right.